Oh yeah, baby. I love it. I love it. We Gucci. We Gucci. I love this. I love this game. I love times like this because this is when I get to gloat. You know, I know maybe Bournemouth, but you know what? I'm gonna gloat, baby. Now I'm gonna wait for the boys to come in, but before I do, I'm just gonna say, yeah, that was nice. That was nice. You don't get many match days like this, but you can come in, you beat Bournemouth, literally black and white. ASM puts on a masterclass, and what a result! By the way, if you haven't seen it already, Newcastle win away 4-1. And I'm still pissed about the one, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm greedy. I want the nil. I'm sure Dubravka wants the nil as well, but 4-1 nonetheless. Absolutely phenomenal performance by the lads. Goals from Gayle, because obviously he had to make up for that miss. You know, he came off at half-time looking miserable. He had to make up for that miss. Who else got on the score sheet? God, so many. Obviously, Miggy got on the score sheet as well. That was the fourth goal. Lazaro, sorry, that was the fourth goal. Who else scored as well? Gayle. God, in fact, it's going across there. What am I doing? Gayle scored the first. Assist by ASM. Longstaff scored the second. Tricky from the left-hand side. Cut inside. Longstaff to the roof in it. That was all she wrote. And that was Longstaff's final touch of the game. But again, he got a goal. Then obviously, we got a third. Oh, Lord. Almiron. Again, ASM on the wing. Doing his thing. Passes in. And ASM... Right on the match, bro. Come on. This is Gucci, baby. And then obviously, top bins. 3-0. It's all over. But now we wanted more. We wanted 4. Made the subs. Lazaro. Gucci gang. Dreadlock gang. All of that. 4-0. And then, oh man, Dan Gosling had to spoil the party. But hey, it's one of them. It's one of them, baby. But I'm still happy nonetheless. I'm sure I'm going to have some people joining me soon. I'm going to read out some of the comments whilst I wait for people. 4-1, get in, lads. Yes, Andy, talking about brilliant win. Andrew, listen, Andrew, bro, come on. Fantastico, Gary Nixon, of course, bro. Less sauce God. Evening 40, Jonathan, I mean, Clint. You know, Jonathan, you know. Michael Crate, Longstaff. He's back. Gayle played really well. ASM another level again. I mean, look, Fumby, I see you waiting. Fumby's gonna come in soon, but I see you waiting. I've just gotta get in all my words for ASM. This guy is a god. Get into Army Retro and UFC. Cool. Shelby, brilliant midfield. ASM ran right. Shelby didn't have that many minutes, but he did his thing, got an assist. What more can you ask for, man? Michael Crane, Saint-Maximin player of the season. Come on! Got to enjoy him while he's here. Right, I can't hold him off for too much longer. I've got to get him involved, man. Well, sorry, because otherwise I'll be chatting forever, bro. Come on, bro. Come on!
That was a good performance.
What? Don't give me that's a good performance, bro. Don't give me that, man. Come on.
You know what? I just think to myself, we should have blown Villa off the park.
Listen, no. I'm not having this. No. So,
like today is the first time.
Leave Man City, Bournemouth. We'll talk about Bournemouth.
Yeah, you know what I said in the last one. Yeah, against Bournemouth, I don't want to see no stalling. I don't want to see no. We need to get at them. 5 minutes, we get the first goal. I was worried that Kraft was going to be kind of. I thought they were going to beat him for pace down the touch, down his side, but
yeah,
controlled the game. Just everybody was on it, man. Like everybody was on it.
Levels, man. Come on, levels, man. Come on, give the energy, man.
You know what? I think. You know what? I've just You know what it is, yeah. You see, the first time when we won 3-0 on a thing, I was so gassed because the Premier League's come back. I can't believe we're gonna win. Today is weird because I thought Bournemouth would be tricky, but as we just blown them off the park, I'm thinking, rah.
You know what? I'm getting positive Pete, man. I'm getting positive Pete, man. Because Fumby's being too like, oh, you know what? 4-1, we do it all the time, bro. No, we don't. Come on.
Hey, you know what it is? Hey, Clint, you know what it is? that frigging clean sheet killed my whole energy.
I know, look, I know. But we scored 4 goals away from home.
I know. But I was so pissed off. And it was Dan Gosling too, who scored against us in one of the return fixtures. I was just like, you know what? Minor though, because Lazaro's finish was 2 tidy finishes, bro. So yeah.
Positive peak. Come on, give me some positivity, man. Because Fumbi's been too.
Woo!
Give me something, man. Come on,
boys. We've got to enjoy this because we don't get results and performances like this very often.
Thank you.
I know, Fumbi. I know you're talking about the Man Cities and the Villas, but they're done and dusted. It's gone. The one thing that we've got to think about, right, is that what we all asked for after Man City, we asked for a reaction, and boy, we got that today. We got that in abundance. Now, I tell you what. In attacking phases, I don't actually think Bournemouth played that bad, but I just think the way we played as a team, how organised we were just on levels above. They just could not handle us. They just could not handle. They had their best striker playing today.
On levels, man. That was it.
Josh King. When I saw Josh King in that starting lineup, I thought, oh, this could be tricky because I was expecting him and Wilson to be out. I don't even know if he even got a touch today, let alone a chance of scoring. You know what I mean?
Allow Josh King, allow the King, allow any King, allow Queens. We won 4. In fact, I want more gas talk. We're bringing Emmy into it as well, bro. Emmy, please come on, bring the energy, bro.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that so much. I was so far. Glass of wine, feet up. It's the first time going Newcastle performance. Oh, we played some ball, you know.
Bro.
We played some ball.
Bro.
We did. ASM, Almiron, Longstaff, Shelby, all of them. 10 out of 10. Brilliant performance.
Hey, when we got the second goal,
of course. Best performance of the season.
When we got the second goal, I said to my brother, hey, we're moving like Brazil right now, you know. We're one touch across the
Holland, because we have the orange shirt in it. We've got to say Holland, innit?
Oi.
Do you know, the way we're knocking the ball about...
When did we learn how to play ball like that?
Bro, we've always got it in the locker. Listen, ASM, literally, I call it playing violin football. Because he's pulling the strings, bro. He's just pulling the strings here, there, and everywhere. That's it. ASM, and without him, we're screwed. I'm not gonna lie. We are
Clinton, you need to hashtag Bruce Ball. You need to get Bruce Ball hashtagging, man.
Bruce Ball.
Wow. Bruce is gonna start cooking for pep in them.
Yeah, I thought
we were Man City at one point. The way we were knocking that ball about was nuts.
Oh, man, I don't know. If we need to get beaten by Man City like this all the time, then so be it. If we get a performance like that once in a while, then you know what? Sometimes we might have to take a little humbling from Man City because I like to see that side of things. I don't want to see us kind of park the bus. I want to see us play free-flowing football. For me, you can shake your head.
No, I agree. I agree.
I really say like, nah, bro. I was like, come on.
No, I agree, man. I agree.
Hey, bro, because I was going to say, that was beautiful to watch. Like, from the get-go, Dwight Gayle scored 5th minute. Fumbi, what are you saying, fam? I want Fumbi's reaction to that one. You're saying
You know what? I said to my brother, this guy's a quality finisher, but you have to get him in the box. Outside of the box, he gets bundled over too easy, so we need to get him in space. You see, both of his goals were from, they lose the ball, swift it into his feet, he scored. The first one against Sheffield United, and today, as soon as that guy lost the ball, Maximum's thinking now, innit? Because I thought he was going to run with the ball, but he laid a first-time pass and then goal. Listen, so I respect him as a finisher, but I just know against bigger teams, we're going to need a lot more to get into the goal.
All right, Fumbi, man. Jeez, what's wrong with you, man? I'd enjoy the game, man.
With Clinton. Because the thing is this year, you're going to get sucked in by that one goal. You're going to be like, yeah, and then the next 4 games, you're going to be, I hate him.
I don't want to think about it. Let me enjoy this game. Let me enjoy this 90 minutes. Let me gloat. We don't get many chances to gloat. Look, the last time we gloated was Sheffield United. That feels like ages ago. We sent Villa. We got dicked on by Man City, and now we're back, baby. Bournemouth. 4 at the same time. 4. Sorry, but yeah.
You could see that Gayle he had something to prove today. He knew after that miss he was on he was on one. And you know what? I think Brumby, I think during the game he said something about Gayle not playing well. And I thought I'd wait for this to obviously make a point. And I don't know if you guys might have even noticed it yourself, but the goal aside, I thought he worked well. I thought he worked hard off the ball. But on top of that, the way he sat on Lerner every time Bournemouth had the ball deep, he stopped Lerner from playing the ball inside, and that was what his role was. His role wasn't to track the centre backs; it was to stop them from playing. And that role in the first half, they just could not get going because they couldn't get a ball inside because Gayle was just sitting on him. So that defensive work and that defensive structure alongside his performance on top, that's why I thought he had a really good game, because he was switched on. He's not normally switched on for us. When he comes on, he's normally just kind of going through the motions, but he was switched on today. So maybe he needed that miss on Sunday to get him started. And hopefully he does. I love it when players look to or go and prove fans wrong. You know, when fans get on his back, and you know, we're not the only ones after Sunday. All the Newcastle fans would have got on his back after that. So it was nice to see him sort of prove us wrong today.
100%. Right, let's get into the second goal. So again, Lazaro scored again. Let's talk through this. On the left-hand side, jinking and jiving through what? 3 or 4 man? In fact, it's more than that one. It felt like about 15 man. Jinking and jiving for all of them. Laid it off to Longstaff. Top ins. Even Longstaff's getting on it. In fact, let me come back to Bumby. This is another one that Bumby wrote off. Sean Longstaff, what are you saying?
I didn't write off Longstaff. I said they have a lot to prove. I didn't write him off. I said I'm over the whole they must play because they're Longstaff brothers. Here's the thing, and I will say this about Longstaff today. He was fully on it. He wanted to score today. Yeah. Like you see that time in the first half, he got in the box, kind of scuffed his shot, but he was on it today. And when Saint-Maximin got into the box, you could tell he wanted to score because he got into the position. And so listen, I don't mind. I don't care who plays in it, but it's not your birthright. You need to impress me. That's what I was just trying to say about the man, Longstaff. And hopefully he heard that message.
He was almost like playing centre forward today, wasn't he, Pete?
Well, this is the thing, and this is what I was going to say. Forget the fact that he's not had a great season compared to under Rafa the pre-season before. What I've noticed, and what I think is the way going forward with Sean Longstaff, is that he plays in that number 10 role. So obviously Miggy wasn't playing today, but Sean Longstaff was playing there. But I'd also noticed that Sean Longstaff in the cup games was also playing in that role, that number 10 role. And he scored goals on playing in that role. Because you could see he was chasing the centre-backs as the furthest man forward at one point in that first half. And he was the one that was getting into the box with Gayle and looking to get on the end of things. And that's how he got his goal. And I was so gutted for him that he got injured because, his performance, he was up there as one of the best performers before he came off. Yeah. So that number 10 role, for sure, that needs to be his role going forward, not the centre midfield role.
Cool. I got to welcome Jonny into the chat. Welcome, Jonny.
Welcome, Jonny. Thanks very much, lads. How you doing?
Show love. So, Jonny from Newcastle Fans TV. We're just going through the game, of course. 4-1. We just got to the second goal when Lazaro scored. ASM, that mercurial man, is just literally set up Longstaff for a second goal. But just talk me through your thoughts on the game, Jonny, man. I've not seen us play like that in a while.
No, I think it was the perfect performance after obviously the disappointment of Sunday. I think we were a bit deflated after the game on Sunday. I think we all thought we were going to try and potentially get maybe a semi-final if Newcastle can show up. Obviously they didn't, but it was the perfect performance from the first goal to last. We just didn't look like concede, and really obviously we did right at the end, but obviously Miggy, ASM at the minute since lockdown, I hate to say it, 40, but no.
What was that?
I hate this. I was going to say for the other lads and the people that are watching, me and 40 have had this Miggy ASM debate for a few months now, since Crystal Palace. But ASM at the minute, he's the first name on the team sheet. Like today, he was unplayable. Like the second goal in particular, he just danced past the fullback Smith, didn't he? He sent him to the shops and back, and then obviously laid it on a plate for Longstaff. Oh, it was brilliant. But no, it was the perfect performance. If I could have chosen a perfect performance, apart from maybe the goal at the end, that would have been literally everything, because Newcastle looked really, really good. Almiron's goal. The defence looked solid as well. I thought even Kraft did a good job at right back. Remarkable. You got to give a lot of credit to everybody involved.
Yeah, listen, I've even got to give Bruce a shout out because I wasn't too sure coming into this game. Look, Bumby, I know you're shaking your head. Come on.
No,
shout out.
This shake of head is. Hey, this shake of head was. This shake of head. I was watching the game, yeah, and they cut to Bruce because we were 2 up. It's like I said, he's got the pep swear on. I said, Bruce is morphing into someone else.
Fumbi, you know for a fact.
With the 2 fingers, I'm like, rah, Bruce is on one. Hey, there's a takeover coming, and Bruce wants to make sure he's looked at.
Yeah,
he locked Pep in his office. He locked Pep in his office on Sunday and didn't let him leave until he told him his secrets. You know that happened on Sunday.
How do you do this? How do you get your players to pass 5 times in a row? How does that work?
Hey, Bruce was looking happy. I thought he scored.
He will tonight. He will tonight, no doubt.
Usually, right. So obviously, going to halftime 2-0 up. Usually, we probably crumble by then.
Yeah.
And we just came out the second half, same energy, kept it up. Emmy, 3rd goal. Almiron gets on the score sheet. Now, I know, Jonny, look, I know we had this little thing. I got to give Almiron, I'm giving Almiron his props.
You better.
The score sheet, did his thing. Even when he came on the first time, he was doing his thing. But talk me through that 3rd goal, Emmy. What was your thoughts on that?
That was quality finish. I mean, we've seen Almiron get in that position a few times this season. And sometimes when he gets in the box, his composure's not there. He's a bit rash. He just flashes at it. But he's just, when he got in there, it was ice cool. He knew exactly what he was doing. Right foot as well.
With the swinger.
Yeah. Brilliant. Fair play to him. I thought he looked a bit tired against Man City. I think that's why he didn't start today. So I didn't think Bruce wanted to play him that early today. But fair play to him. He came in, slotted him well. I thought he looked sharp.
Fair play to him as well, man. I mean, yeah, as I said, like, you just nailed it on the head, really. Like, Almiron, sometimes when he gets into those positions, he doesn't take his chances properly, but took his chance well and was cruising 3-0. And then the 4th one, Lazaro, man's got a point to prove, innit, Pete? He's got a point to prove. I'm surprised he didn't start today, in fact, but took his goal well as well, didn't he? Shelby assist as well. Jonny got a whole mind. Shelby did all right.
This is it. He's got it all to prove, and we, I think all the fans have said that. I don't think we've seen enough of him. I think Emmy's mentioned that before. We haven't seen enough of him as a player on loan, particularly with that £20 million price tag on his head. That's a lot of money to pay for a guy that's not played a lot of football. So, but this is the problem, though, is that actually since the restart, where you would think now we're safe and now we're kind of in a position to play these kind of guys and rotate the squad. Actually, you want to be playing your best players, because looking at the league at the end of that game, we're like 6 points off 7th place. It's all to play for. It's
Europa League football.
I'm not. No, look. Let's be honest. We are not getting European football. We're not. But if we want to be pushing to finish at least the top half of the table, we want to be going in there playing our best players. Now,
Pete,
we could have rested. Go on. Sorry.
4th place off 7. 4 points off 7.
4 points off 7. There you go. So
put that wine bottle down. Calm down. All right. I know. I'm excited.
How many bottles have you had?
Let's just
how many times?
We're not in the Bournemouth situation right now. All right. Now, carry on.
Times in the last 13 years, how many times have we really finished in the top 10? We've got an opportunity, and every position we kind of reach higher is an extra 1, maybe 2 million on top of the money for the summer. You know what I mean? So it's all to play for. And you've got West Ham next. Okay, we've got Man City next week, which is probably a little bit of a write-off away from home. But then you've got Watford away, you've got Brighton away, you've got games that we can win. You know what I mean? They're 9 points in itself that we can pick up with these type of performances. So you then think, is he really going to get a start? Because you ain't dropping ASM. As long as he's fit, he plays. And then we had Richie, who we were resting today, that could have come on before Lazaro. So you've got options there, which is fantastic. But you just feel sorry for him because you want him to play. And if he keeps doing that, then fair play to him.
No,
Yo,
you're
they
right.
need to do the Premier League. They need to do the Premier League fixtures like this at the beginning of the season, man. Like
That's
people
right.
are on crud right now. Like 3 games in a week, minor.
Yeah.
You're not the one playing it.
Bro.
You're about.
We've scored eight goals in what? 3 games? This is how we do.
What you're telling me, maybe after lockdown, yeah?
Bro, we're unbeaten in 5 Premier League games, rude boy. Coming about.
Hopefully 6 come Sunday.
Hey, we gotta beat West Ham at home. We gotta beat them. We gotta take the sales out of the team.
For me. Let's not look too much forward, man. Let's enjoy the moment. I've got to work these guys into it. I've got to work them in, man. One's talking about European football. One's talking about 7th place. One's talking about West Ham. Calm down. Let's enjoy this moment.
I'm talking about top 10. I'm just talking about top 10.
The only way I'm
talking about
European football is if we get taken over, because I do not want that curse where you're playing Thursday and you ain't got the squad for it, and they won't do that relegation battle all season. I don't want that.
We've been there, done that, man.
Right, let me just get the one negative out of the way. So again, I thought it was going to be 4-0. I thought the Dubravka was going to get a clean sheet, but it's that man, Dan Gosling, Jonny, pops up again, ex-Newcastle, yada, yada. Like, talk me through it. Should we have done better? Did we switch off? We've got to talk about it before we go back to the hype stuff.
We shouldn't have switched off, because if I was Dubravka, I'd be going, yeah. Have you ever heard of a clean sheet bonus? Because I think that's what he would have been after. The defence would have been after that. We just switched off, but we gave Ake too much space at the far post. And when that ball's coming back towards the goal, you always fancy the defender to probably not get there. You always think that the attacker's going to get there and just prod over the line, which they did. But it was the only thing that went wrong in the whole game. You have to say, you have to give the defence so much credit today. I thought Mankia was brilliant on one side. I thought Kraft started a bit shaky, but after the first 10, 15 minutes, I thought he looked really, really comfortable for a player that hasn't played a lot of football this season, even when before lockdown. So, the only bad thing on a really, really good day down on the South Coast.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone talks about our attacking play. I thought we actually defended really well today.
I
think
agree.
that was their only shot on target. And I think Lascelles and Fernandez, they've got a good partnership at the back. They're probably they are our first choice defender partnership, those two. Mankia, he's been fantastic. He deserves that new contract. I just want to, and the Dubravka goal, obviously top goalkeeper. So defensively looks strong. It's that goal at the end is just a sucker punch, but you can't take the shine off the performance.
Nah, this is why Shaw doesn't play.
I was going to say, can we talk about some of the people that kind of surprised us that started? First one being Emil Kraft, because come on, who's thinking Emil Kraft was going to play?
I think once it was Bournemouth, he thought, if you can't play in this one, then you can't.
Well, give a little run out against Bournemouth and then sit him back down in the.
Now, if you couldn't do a job against Bournemouth today, if anybody didn't turn up today, you're not playing for the rest of the season. Like Bournemouth, we played well.
Why are you killing the move?
We played well, but Bournemouth was there for the taking. And what I loved is we took it. We didn't wait for it. We didn't ask them to see. We didn't see what they had. We just stripped them of any kind of confidence. 2 goals on each half. Boom. Get it out of there. I think the goal that we conceded was more because Dubravka wanted something to say that he did in the game, innit? Because other than that, my man was. I saw him reading the paper at one point, just checking the fixture list.
Have you seen their fixture list?
It's horrendous.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'll be surprised if Bournemouth get another point all season. The rest of the season. I'm not even. Have you seen their picture list? It's unbelievable.
I don't even want to look at it. I mean, we had Sam yesterday, and I felt sorry for him. We had him on yesterday. He's like, he looked dejected before the game. God knows what he was now. God knows what he was now.
When we went to up, we knocked the confidence out of them. They couldn't even. They forgot what game. We still playing football? Is it hockey now? Because they were lost. You know, the ones where you're passing towards goal, but you don't even want to score, so you start passing back again. They were tired. I saw us dropping shoulders. Football blood. I was like, wow, we're taking the piss.
I saw Mancio looking like a prime Roberto Carlos at left back. I was like, what? This Javier Mancio that we've had the whole time? What?
Oh, dear me.
I thought it was Holland. I
Yeah,
thought he
yeah,
did
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Other one as well. Sorry, Marv's in the conversation as well. Jonny, Marv, Emeka.
Nice
Emeka
to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you as well.
Bentaleb is starting in centre midfield. Now, that was another shock to me. Thoughts on that one? Bentaleb, obviously, still got a point to prove. He's got a contract to win. Anyone want to jump in on that one?
I thought it was a perfect sort of game for him, where if he's getting pressed, then
What are you laughing at?
he's going to get challenged.
Pete said he's aight.
Yeah, Pete's not having it.
He's not having Bentaleb at all. Come on, bro.
No, it was his perfect game, to be honest, where they had to make a sub at half-time, Bournemouth midfield, because they just weren't pressing him. So when you give a player like that time on the ball, he's going to look a lot better. But against better opposition, Bentaleb, for me, will be found out quite a bit. So he was able to rest on the ball, just pop it off. But when he's being pressed and harried against the team, he'll find it a lot more difficult. But it was a perfect game for him to play because there was no pressing from their midfield.
It's just too many touches sometimes with Bentaleb. You think, just release the ball, because Longstaff's done that before in the last couple of seasons. He just spends too much time, half a second too long. Just play it. Like Shelby today, I thought was brilliant at just doing that today. As soon as you get the ball, can we play it? You shouldn't have more than 2 touches on a football pitch if you're that sort of caliber of player. But at the minute, does Bentaleb get into your best 2 midfielders if you play 4-2-3-1? No, he doesn't. No. So I think, I personally, at the minute, if someone said to me, do you want to buy him? Unless it was a really, really good price for Newcastle, I'd probably say, no, I'm all right, thank you.
It's a waste of a player in the 25-man squad for me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you buy him, it's just the extra body.
You know what?
Go on, Formby.
If we don't buy him, we let him go. If we don't keep him around, because you don't want Bentaleb as a squad player because he's a moody guy. Start throwing tantrums because he's not playing. I don't want that kind of heat. Like Pete said, I think he's all right. I think we bowled so well today. Anybody would have stood out. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not thinking let's keep Bentaleb. I'm not thinking that.
The rest of the team made him play well, made him look like he was playing well, should I say? Yeah. In the like Clinton said, Shelby on the ball. He did everything that we want from him. We want him to play forward passes. We want him to play that killer pass. He did that today. He made things tick. And the fact that we went 1-0 up quite early on and we dominated the game made it easy for Bentaleb. For me, there was just a lot of sideways passing, a lot of backwards passing, a lot of negativity when he could have looked forward to really when you've got a guy on loan that's, got a 9 million fee hanging over his head and talks about how he really wants to stay at the club. You would have thought there was a couple of times where he's got the ball and he could drive forward and really show what he's about. But he just took the easy option, which is a little simple pass back, sideways passing. That's not what we want in this. We want that in the centre midfield. We could get any one of those centre midfielders. You could get Hayden, Matty Longstaff, Sean Longstaff. You could get any one of them to do that. Why pay an extra £9 million for a player just to do that? And he wouldn't come on cheap wages either. And that's the thing. He wouldn't come on cheap wages. He'd be commanding a lot of money. Now, I'd rather pay Matty Longstaff his 30 grand a week and let him do that. I want someone that's going to be a little bit more dynamic. I want someone that's going to, do the doggy work like Hayden, but Hayden can pick a pass. Hayden can drive forward. Hayden can get on the edge of the box. Bentaleb didn't show that for me today. So he was the one player that I didn't really take much from in terms of that performance. And he played 90 minutes as well.
Okay. And then the third one is that man, Dwight Gayle. Now, obviously, he had a point to prove after the last game. We was all cussing him out. We was all putting juju magic on him and all the rest of it now because that miss was terrible. In fact, that miss reminds me as well of Hayden's miss as well. Hayden, don't think you got out of this. Hayden, you ain't got out of this as well, baby. I know it's falling up, but that was that was terrible. But anyway, getting back to Gayle. He comes back in within 5 minutes on the score sheet. And there's a certain man in there, Fumbi, didn't want him there. So we're gonna have a little conversation, sir. What are we saying?
You know what? You know the scary thing? If Joelinton was in that position, I wouldn't be confident he was going to score that. I would not be confident. But as soon as Dwight Gayle composed himself, I knew that was it. Because he can finish. Whereas Joelinton, I'd have been like, oh, please, God, don't scuff this one. So yeah, that's Gayle, innit? Gayle's a good finisher. If we can get him in that box, he will score goals.
Yeah. Nah, you're right. And Pete, the rest of the gang, I mean, just have a little bit more time. Just a little bit more. I mean, that's his 100th league goal. Come on, man. It's got cut for something. Come on.
Yeah. Well, if he's going to continue to do that, I don't see why he doesn't play. You know what I mean? If he's gonna perform like that, I think Andrew just put on there in the comment 2-2 in the Premier League for Gayle. You know, fair play. Look, I'm all for players proving us wrong. I've always said that his head's not been in the game since he come back off loan from West Brom, and it hasn't been. And you know, it's took that miss against Man City and maybe an arm round his shoulder from Bruce yesterday and Monday to maybe get him motivated. But a motivated Dwight Gayle is what we saw in the Championship, and he scores goals. Like Rumby said, he can finish. We've seen it. We've seen him do it for Newcastle. But it's the rest of the game that's got to come into play. He's got to be able to work and come into a structure and a way of playing, and he showed that today. So I'm all for him proving us wrong. And if he can prove us wrong, fair play. But you know, like I say, it's all on him because him scoring these goals, he's still got value. So we could sell him on. We could sell him on and still get some value at 30 years old. If he wants to stay and play for Newcastle United, then great. But he's got to perform like that every week.
What are you going to say, Jonny?
I think Gayle needs somebody else with him up top. I think he struggles when he's by himself. I think he does an okay job for a little man against big defenders, but I think he just needs somebody with him. It doesn't really matter to an extent who's with him. I just think he needs somebody to feed him off. If you've got Carroll, that would make sense to an extent because he can do all the work with the defenders and maybe get a flick on and Gayle can do the run behind. But he really needs somebody with him. I've seen him a few times this season at St. James. I remember the game against Burnley where I thought he actually had a really good game. The only thing he was missing was a goal and he was by himself up top. If he can get a bit more support and maybe just like even today, you saw Sean playing as a number 10 today for times before he scored, before Sean scored, sorry. I think it looked a little bit so much better for Gayle. But again, you're looking at another player that potentially doesn't really want to be at the club. If he doesn't want to be there, like they say, there'll be loads of Championship teams. You probably you look at the teams that may be getting promoted from the Championship. Leeds, for example, West Brom might even put a bid back in for him and just to say, look, can we take him off your hands? Because I think he's one of those nerdy players. It's he's too good for the Championship, probably not good enough for the Premier League, but if he scores more goals like that, then tell Thumby to go away.
I like that.
I love that, man. And not even celebration, Thumby. It was that was for you. That was for you, you know that, right?
Okay.
We've had it before, though.
Wait. Before we get on a bit more, Marv, I'm going to have to sub you out quickly. I've got Sharkey waiting in the wings. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah?
Clint.
Yeah, no problem. See you
I'm
later,
going to have to duck out.
Oh, in fact, Emmy will go then. Marv, you stay in, yeah?
Okay.
Cool.
All right, cool.
See you later, Em.
See you later.
Yeah.
Right, just going to bring Sharkey into the chat. Sharkey, you right, bro?
Yes, not bad, man. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Everyone, this is Sharkey. Everyone.
Hi, guys. You're good?
Obviously, we just carried through the game. What a game. What was your thoughts on it, first of all, bro?
Completely outclassed them. You can tell I go to the Championship, can't you? I mean, this was Bournemouth's biggest game of the season, and it was literally liquid football from minute 1 to minute 90. The 4-3-3 formation for me that's what I want to see every game. I want to see attacking football, not this 5 at the back nonsense and expect the opposition to take the game to it. I want us to go down and play football, and that's what I've seen. That's, for me, best away performance of the season.
I like that. Liquid football.
It literally was. I've never seen Newcastle play tick-a-tacker football like that in outclass Bournemouth in the one top.
I said we put Blue out here.
Is this Newcastle or Barcelona we're talking about?
Well, that first 45 minutes, Bournemouth, they couldn't get a sniff on the ball. I mean, bloody hell, they were bad. Bournemouth were bad. Honestly, that was literally, that match was League 2 versus Premier League. That was bad.
Yeah. Sharky, do you think that we made them look bad, though? With how hard we worked and the quality of our football. I agree.
Made them look I agree. Steve Bruce didn't take them lightly. He goes, no, we're here for the win. With that defeat, obviously the Man City was poor, but we needed a better performance. 39 points, you could say, were pretty much done anyway. But mathematically, there's still that lingering over the relegation fears. You know, Newcastle have done this before where we've been in a good position under John Carver and we're fucked up. But now this time, Bournemouth, 4-1. I mean, the goal that we conceded was poor, but that's typical Newcastle fashion, isn't it? Switching off. And as if the warning signs weren't there in the first 30 seconds without that chance. But anyway, we could have. The only disappointing thing you take from that game is we should have scored more.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we already discussed the Hayden miss. I mean.
Do not remind. But I nearly choked. I nearly choked on my chip.
He looked to the side as well to see if he was offside.
He was
praying he was offside.
He was wishing he was offside.
Yeah, he was wishing.
You know what? He didn't shoot the ball. He kind of let the ball come off his foot as opposed to actually take the chance. I didn't even see the chance because I wasn't looking. I heard the crossbar off of Lazaro's shot. I was like, ouch, who did that? And then
honestly, Bournemouth were terrible. Like, honestly, like, if you think they're not going to go down, then you need to look at that performance. You're getting outclassed in your own patch. I mean, come on.
I think they've had like one win since September or something stupid.
How many shots did they have on target? One or two shots on target the whole game?
One.
Goal at the end.
Yeah, this is the second one.
I don't know if I was actually watching Newcastle or watching someone play FIFA. Honestly, I couldn't figure out the two. I couldn't figure out. Honestly, as if someone was spamming the sprint button.
When I saw the stats of 8 goals and only conceded 1 in 3 Premier League games, I thought, how are we not challenging for the title this season? How's that not happening?
Do you know what it is? What has Steve Bruce given these players since they come off Project Restart? 7 points from 9. We could have got 9 out of 9 if we're beating Villa. But what's he saying to them? Because we look like a totally different set. I know you could say we've changed the formation, but like we're full of confidence, aren't we, at the minute?
Yeah. Well, Steve Bruce is always saying like how good we are in training and stuff, and I think with no fans there, it's actually helping us as a team to have the structure and just no one's getting on our back, and it helps the other side as well when you're pushing forward. But I just think we're just doing what we're doing in training, working hard, and we've just got the formation now where the back five's just got to be non-existent now. I don't want to see that again. Like you said,
throw that out of the window. Throw that formation. Get that in the bin.
Which means Sharkey's probably not going to see it, but he was grumpy on the bench.
Well, I can take Char being grumpy. Look, if this is Bruce's situation, let him stick to it. I've just got to read a couple comments out, by the way. Triaz Reed says, well, Hayden's just tweeted about that miss. I'm just reading out his tweet now. So it says, unreal performance from the lads. Miss of the century from myself. Folks is now on the table. I'm putting in more top performances for you to watch at home. Thank you for your continued support. So fair enough. Taking that one. You say, yeah, he's admitted it. I mean, it was all for us all to see. I want to ask you guys now, going forward now, obviously West Ham game and all the rest of them, is this the formation that he needs to play, first of all? And who kind of impressed you now going forward into the next game? Does Gayle get more of a look in? I know there's not too many Bentaleb fans in the house.
Go with the same side. Yeah.
The whole everyone.
Yeah. Go with it.
Why not?
I would drop Joe.
You've got the argument of dropping, like Jonny said, of dropping Joe Linton for Matt Ritchie potentially, or even Lazaro. He scored. You've got the option of doing that, but Joe Linton can offer a little bit of height, a little bit of stability in terms of winning the ball in the air. He did that early on in the first half. Took the pressure off Gayle having to sort of deal with balls being lumped up to him, but. Look, there's no reason why we can't play with that same team. And, with points to be won, we need to be sort of going with that moving forward. But the one that's impressed me the most, and maybe he's not a standout, but is Jamal Lascelles. I think we've seen from him, even in the Man City game, I thought it was fantastic. His structural organisation, winning balls in the air, winning balls on the ground. He covered Charlotte on Sunday, but he just looks like an animal. He's winning everything. Him and Fernandes are a fantastic partnership, and I questioned him playing in a back four. I didn't think Lascelles could play in a back four. I knew Shaw couldn't play in a back four, but I questioned whether Lascelles could. And thankfully, he's proven me wrong because he's playing probably some of his best football since he was linked to the England squad back before the World Cup. In my opinion, since he's come back from the restart. And you look at the likes of Tyrone Mings, and you look at the likes of Michael Keane and some of the other players. Was it Dunk for Brighton, who have got in the England squad. He's playing better than them.
Declan Rice.
He's playing better than them. No, Dunk from Brighton.
I'm saying Declan Rice choosing him.
I mean, Declan Rice. He's more of a centre midfielder, but yeah, you're right. I mean, some of his performances that he's putting in, he eclipses all of them. So if he's not in consideration when the internationals start, then I don't know how he's going to get a cap because he's been fantastic.
I would still drop Joe Linton. I think you've got obviously you've mentioned Matt Ritchie and Lazaro, but if you're putting Joe Linton on the left hand side, is Ritchie better than on the left hand side? Yes. Is Lazaro potentially better on the left hand side? Yeah. Not 100% sure on that because I think he could potentially be better on the right hand side, but you could always put ASM on the left. Where I think he's probably a little bit more comfortable after he decided. Obviously, I mentioned before taking Adam Smith to the Shopson back. So they're probably the players. I would probably say they're the sort of players that for me are above Joe Linton. I think the only thing that probably keeps him in the squad is probably the price tag, and I think Bruce has got to try and persevere with him. And I know he scored against Sheffield United, but I thought he was quite good today on the left hand side. I think he was less effective on the right. And we've seen him for a few months now what he's like on his own as a centre forward. It's obviously not a great return, 2 goals from 32 games or something stupid like that. So it's going to be tough, but tough with Joe Linton. But I think you've all mentioned we're all quite positive now. When you look at 3 days ago against Man City, we saw the season's just going to fizzle out. It does seem that Bruce has got them switched on, and it does seem that now, right, we've got 42 points. Can we get 50? Can we get 8 points from the last 6 games? Which could be tough, but I think it's a good target for them to get because I can't remember the last time Newcastle got over 50 points. And you've mentioned before, Pete, we've got Pardew was probably the last time. And you mentioned before, Pete, we've got games against Watford and Brighton. Spurs, I think, are beatable at home. Liverpool are going to be tough regardless.
Yeah.
So Liverpool last game of the season, where they're at? You know what I mean? They've won the league.
Probably have about 172 points or something stupid like that.
But honestly, do you know what it is? I thought the 4-3-3 worked. I think Joe Linton had a lot more, a bit more freedom, didn't he, to get up the field? And I know it was Bournemouth, but if you're gonna play, Joe Linton, that is his preferred formation, the 4-3-3. Left wing, you see a lot more from him.
And I like the way ASM was floating in central midfield as well. He kind of coming off the wing.
Oh, he's different gravy. He is different gravy this side. He's our go-to man. He's our go-to. Honestly, without Saint-Maximin, right, we are knackered. As I say, we're knackered. We've got no quality. We are knackered.
It just shows in the stats as well with the number of wins with him in the team, and then the number of wins we haven't had with him in the team. It's amazing.
I think Almiron's so humble when ASM's on one because he just let him do it. I want Almiron to I want to run at everybody.
It's nice to do it together.
I want them to be greedy together. I want I want it.
Because when Longstaff went off, when Sean Longstaff went off, I said, "Whoa! If I was Almiron, I'm coming on like this is a game for 6." And I can.
The thing is, though, Almiron, his confidence at the minute is this season has just been a different level. I mean, you have to believe in the lad, and the lad's got ability, and he's shown it. The Crystal Palace goal, I said, the minute he gets a goal from somewhere, his performance levels they'll skyrocket, and you can see him now. Potentially, him and Almiron are our best players we've got for quality. The rest.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But honestly, I can't believe the manner in which we beat them 4-1. I mean,
amazing.
Was never expecting that.
40. I'm gonna have to head off, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers for joining us,
Johnny.
See you later, Johnny.
Cheers, Johnny, man. All the best to you, man.
Victory. Enjoy.
It wasn't just the 4 goals. So all the goals were like, "Come on, Newcastle, is that going on here? Okay." It was 9 goals.
Oh dear. Right.
Yeah.
No, carry on, bro. Carry on.
Oh no, I was just saying the game was done after half an hour. In my opinion, it was done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, done and dusted, man. Done and dusted.
Going back to changes, just a quick one. I was thinking maybe put Danny Rose back in. One swallow for me doesn't make a summer, and
wait.
as well as
Danny Rose didn't play.
Yeah, I put Mankio back to.
I thought Kraft came on.
Imagine Rose with that formation. We'd have gone 7 up.
So yeah, I put Kraft back on the bench.
I thought Kraft had a good game.
He did well.
He had a good game.
Yeah, Kraft did all right. He did okay. As you said before, probably as you said before, if he's not going to play in any other game, he's got to play today. I mean, away, he's got to play today, and he did all right. What are you laughing at, man? Come on,
you're like, yeah, he did okay, but let's not get too carried away just yet.
I said all right.
Remember, that's probably the toughest team he's played against since near the start of the season. I don't think he's played since January, since against Rochdale or Oxford. I know, for me, I thought he played really well. I thought he was one of our best performers, Kraft. For a guy that's not played since January, not even properly kicked a ball in anger, for him to come in out the cold and to play as confidently as that, I thought, maybe up until we scored, he was just feeling his way into the game. But after that, I thought he was very, very good. I thought they didn't have a sniff down the right-hand side, and that was a big part because of him. And he was also an outlet going forward too. He was always an option. He likes to get forward. When he has played, he always looks like he's going to get in goal-scoring positions. So fair play to him. But just to add about Saint-Maximin, it would not surprise me in the slightest, is that as soon as this season finishes, is that we give him a new contract. And
we're better.
Extend his deal. He deserves more money. He deserves more money for carrying
the top 6 clubs will be sniffing around. Your Real Madrids, your PSGs. Oh, they'll be after seeing that.
100%.
Sharkey,
I had an argument with a Man United fan the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, Greenwood whatsoever," but
I'm scared. Honestly, I'm not. I am not like
your team on the right hand side.
I'm scared. I'm honestly scared that we're going to lose him. If it's not the summer, we'll lose him in the January. I'm scared. It's this club. It's Mike Ashley. He sells with better players for stupid money, and then there you go. We don't replace him with better players.
That's guaranteed. If we don't get taken over, ASM and Miggy are gone. That's guaranteed.
That's why I don't get too excited. That's why I don't get too excited. When he gets this big buzz, because it's this club. We'll get so far up the league. We'll have a good squad, and bang, it gets ripped up.
And this is the thing. Yeah, it's a difficult situation really, because I personally, we spoke about this before on here, and I've not been worried. I thought we'd definitely get another season out of him, but the performances he's putting in now, it's worrying me, genuinely worrying me. It's not even the teams in the Prem.
Worthy shot window before worthy. So again, he's playing for that one, but he's also playing for that shot window just in case. Look, here I am. If you need me, I'm here.
100%.
I don't even want to know what Saint-Maximin's going to look like if he plays for a Man City or a Liverpool or a Real Madrid, like doing them sort of skills and brushing off players that they're not even there. Like Bournemouth 3 centre backs, mugging all 3 of them. Come on.
It's not even the Premier League clubs that I'm worried about. It's your likes of your PSGs. It's your likes of your Spanish clubs. It's your likes of your Italian clubs. He could play in any of those teams. I'm sorry, it might seem biased as a Newcastle fan. For me, there is a space for a Saint-Maximin, someone that can produce that moment of magic in every club. Man City have got Mahrez for that. You've got a Marcus Rashford, for example, at Man United that can produce those moments. You've got those players. You've got your Salahs and all the rest of it. He's one of those players. Those top clubs are going to want a player like that. And he's 23 years old. He's only going to get better. You know what I mean? He's nowhere even near his peak. He's 5-6 years away from even reaching his peak. And he's putting in performances like that. I am worried. We need to tie that boy down.
To be fair, I wouldn't mind if he goes out of the league. If I have to see him week in, week out, it would hurt my heart. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if I saw him playing in another shirt week in, week out, it would literally hurt my heart. Jake Ray's asked, what is ASM worth? Guys, put a figure on that man. What are we talking?
Clinton, didn't we say? We said the other week that it was what at this point in time 30 million. But he's put in two more fantastic performances.
No,
so you're probably looking
way more than that now.
ASM price around.
Up. Way up.
Yo,
I swapped the prices around. ASM was 60 million.
Why are we telling him?
40.
60, 70, 80 million.
We're not trying to sell him from me. I'm just saying, like, if a price tag on him, if we're Mike
60, 70, 80 million, we could easily get him.
If Mike Ashley has a price tag on ASM, he's going to take it.
So like 60, 70, 80 million, easy.
Yeah. You don't think Mike at home is thinking, oh, that's a new
the biggest deal that we've ever done in our history, like if it goes for that much.
Yeah.
The thing is,
And that's the thing.
the thing is, I still think he should. You know, he's got so much to learn at Newcastle. I don't think he should be thinking of a Man City because the pressure's different over there. Do you see what I'm saying? He can do a lot of this at Newcastle. They won't just let him run against the one in City because they got De Bruyne and other players. So
Do you know what?
I think we should just, you know, I understand because actually he's an idiot, but hopefully we're getting that Arab money and then we'll keep him and then, you know, we'll bring in what's his name, Kai Havertz.
Oh my God!
Honestly, I'd love to say it.
Baby.
I would love to say it. I'd love to say it.
Okay, look, final five. Let's talk about some takeover talk. Because Bumby loves Kai Havertz. Come on.
You know what? We would talk takeover talk. If we did get takeover, someone just said, "Is ASM better than Zaha?" Now I don't know. I prefer ASM, but Zaha is really, you know, very effective. But that's the kind of players I'd want. An ASM and a Zaha. I'd want those two.
Oh,
That'd be dangerous.
I think ASM's had a better season. He's had a better season than Zaha. But for me personally, I think Zaha's head's not been in the game at Crystal Palace. I think he, in his mind, he was leaving in the summer. He was leaving. I think Arsenal were linked with him, and I think his mind was elsewhere. And I think that's shown in his performances this season. He hasn't quite been there. I think, you know, he needs to leave Palace. I think he's been there too long, and I think having him on the left and ASM on the right, Miggy in the middle, with a proper striker up front, a striker that can score you goals, a renowned striker. I think you've got goals in this formation, in this style of football. You've got goals in that team. You've got an attacking intent. But yeah, I definitely think ASM's had a better season than Zaha for sure. And I think, you know, he's rivaling Traore in my opinion. I think Traore is just slightly better at the moment, and obviously playing with a better team. But I don't think he's too far behind. I don't think he's too far behind at all.
Where do you think we'll go from here then? 42 points. I mean, well, you know what? Is it just that's it now? I mean, I say 47, 50 points. But some people keep talking about Europe, and I'm like, it's just too much. We're not going to catch the top 7. We could do, but it's not possible.
We're 4 points off it.
There as well, man. These guys get carried away. Positive Pete, man, and from me, these two.
I've said top 10.
Getting the passports out, man. Them two, like,
It's so tight though. I mean, if you look at Burnley, if you look at Burnley, I mean, next to no money, 45 points are on. I mean, if Burnley can do it, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to, but
we should be looking.
Man, I don't know how Burnley do it. I really don't.
We've got enough games. We should be looking. We should be looking at around 50 points. You know, there's 9 points. There's at least 9 points to play for. You got West Ham on Sunday. You got Watford the week after. You got Brighton there. You got
Man City next week.
We've got West Ham on Sunday, but yeah, I've not mentioned Man City.
Oh yeah, the winnable games.
Besides the point, but so you got Watford, Brighton, potentially Tottenham at home. They're games you can win. So I'm thinking there's no reason why we shouldn't be looking at potentially 50 points. 50 points should really get you in the top 10, or certainly looking in and around it. So that should be the target for us.
What happens to Steve? I mean, he's done wonders this season, isn't he, with the squad? I mean, I know you could say Alan Saint-Maximin's sort of like bailing them out in a sense, but like results in that. But he's done all right. He's done better than expected.
No, definitely. And I was going to throw in a hypothetical. If he does get us into Europe, whether we get taken over or not, does he get another year, 2? I mean, look.
No.
Not an 8-year contract. Not an 8-year contract, please. No 8-year contracts.
Yeah.
No, what 8 years?
None of that.
Finally rid of Pardew. Everyone.
Oh yeah.
I have it still there somewhere.
The 8 years is done now. By the way, Pardew's officially.
Wow.
I'm just saying, hypothetical. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup, first time in God knows how long. If he got us into Europe, does he get another 1 more year or 2 more years? I don't.
I would be anyway. I'd still give next season. I would still give next season.
What, even with the takeover, Sharkey?
Yeah. I said 6 months.
To be honest with you,
it's a brave one, but I think he deserves that chance. I think he's had a good season. I think if he's given more money to spend, you use that formation. You've seen it today, the 4-3-3, the 4-2-3-1. He's attacking now. I know it took him a bit of time to do it, but you could see now that the players love playing for him. You know, you can see the likes of Alan Saint-Maximin talking up about him. Richie likes to play from Shelby. There's some of our creative players, and Miggy, you know, he's become a better player this season as well. The proof's in the pudding, really. I mean, we're at, 42 points. We can play for more points.
Yeah.
I would at least give him 6 months, to be fair.
I'm not gonna. I'll agree with Sharkey, man. If we get taken over, I don't mind in it because I just know it's a countdown in it. Like as soon as
the thing is, often we're going to make mistakes. When a takeover happens, it doesn't matter who takes charge of your club. They're going to make mistakes. Money's going to get spent, and that's where you sort of the plan to say, right, okay, 6 months, need good, we'll get somebody else in. Like a bit like what Man City, Liverpool have been doing. You know, they've been building. You know, you can't keep spending loads of money and failing. I think it's only right we give him that 6 months, and if he fails, we'll replace him.
I got what you're saying, Sharkey. I just don't think. I think with PIF and their visions of where they see the club and where they want to take the club, I don't think they're willing to give someone 6 months who's not one of their own, who's not been appointed by them. I just don't see it. I'll be
that's understandable.
Continue with him.
And I've been saying to Pete as well. I just don't see Bruce and Kai Havertz. I just don't see that picture. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see more Kevin De Bruyne. That's what you see.
Yeah.
It's just when you see Bruce and Saint-Maximin, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
No, but you know what the thing is with the takeover. You know the thing is, I don't know with this takeover at the minute. It's all over the place. Like 1 minute it's happening, the next minute, we don't know. The next minute it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. Let's send petitions out to the Premier League because we want to get it done. Richard Masters, he's like, he doesn't want to say anything. I wish somebody from the club or whoever would speak up and talk, because it's getting frustrating, because we need some clarity. We need a direct for next season. We need to know what's going on, the new kits, the manufacturer, the players who, you know, Matty Longstaff. There's so much up in the air at the minute. It's
going on. Well, for me, the longer the takeover takes, the more likely Steve Bruce is going to be in charge for the continuity. Yeah. So, the quicker the takeover, the better.
I was going to say, the one thing that Masters said that we took out of what he said in his interview is that he wants it done shortly. So the fact that he's mentioned that says that, I personally, in my opinion, that I don't think it's far away. Now, how long's far away? Who knows? But I don't think it'll be too much longer now. I think there's so much pressure from the media, from the Newcastle fans. I personally think there's pressure from the government to get this done, because everything they're looking to get the government are looking to get any sort of negativity off their back, and by signing this off and getting it out and away out of the media, they want it done, and for those reasons, I think it will come through shortly. I think it will be done way before the end of the season, and that will give the new owners time to get their feet under the table. Just my opinion.
Plus, the Prem need this money. We need this
takeover. 13 years of utter dross.
The Premier League needs the Prem takeover. Because
13 years of utter dross.
Sorry,
2 relegations.
Yeah,
and that's
the Prem lost a lot of money from this Corona. They need this investment.
Yeah. Fan unrest as well, you know, fans against each other. You know, I don't like to say it. I want everyone just to go to the game, to enjoy it, see good football, win games, get pissed at the end of it, and that's it. We'll move on to the next one. Not this, let's just stay in the Premier League malarkey. It's good if you like a Bournemouth or a Watford or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're Newcastle United Football Club, for goodness sake, not bloody, you know, profit cheat FC. You know what I mean? It's... honestly, it's frustrating. 2 relegations. It says it all about Mike Ashley. He's just in it for the money. The Premier League don't help with the money that comes in, because he just pockets it and he spends as little as possible. And when we stay up, he gets made to look good when he's not. Because you look at Wigan now, who are in administration. If we got relegated and we didn't come up in the first couple of years, he's got to spend. And if he didn't spend, there you go. The proof's in the pudding. Yeah. It's only the Premier League that make him look good.
I want the fans to be together finally, because for 13 years, and maybe even longer than that, maybe even since Sir Bobby Robson, the fans haven't been as one. And with social media, you see so many divisions and opinions and arguments that are going on between the same fan base. I want us all to be as one and supporting the club in the right way. It can only be a good thing. And with that, you'll get better atmospheres at St. James's Park, because there hasn't been a good atmosphere in there, in my opinion, since 2005 on a regular basis. You know, a fan base together will provide that. So, you know, that in itself, I think, will be a massive positive with a takeover.
Okay. Right, we'll wrap it up there, guys, because I'm just going to go off to get some more drinks in because I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the night. But
Hashtag fans.
hashtag
Chelsea winning. Get in.
there you go.
Come on, Chelsea.
We'll probably be back on Friday or Saturday just to preview, obviously, the next game against West Ham. But thank you guys for joining me. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your night. Thank you, people, for listening as well.
Get in there.
How are the lads? Get in there. See you later.